Welcome back, students. So today we are going to discuss about the multiplexing. So this is the last part of the transport layer entities. The elements of transport protocol that we have discussed earlier with including buffering and flow control. So this is the last part according to the syllabus. So before understanding multiplexing, or what are the types of usually we have two types of multiplexing, that is upward multiplexing and downward multiplexing. Before studying about this, let us discuss why this multiplexing is required and what is multiplexing and deep multiplexing and how it is done with respect to the transport layer. Almost every protocol provides the multiplexing and demultiplexing technique. Why it is required is basically in case of UDP, user data protocol, we have already seen that there will be n number of processes and that which are being run by or used by the application layer or by the user. So when we want to send, all of them will be using only one IP address or nothing but the network address. So all these processes or application will be clubbed together, or they will be wrapped and they will be encapsulated in the header, and then those application processes will be sent, and again at the destination side this again these processor also will be using the same one, only one IP address, and the network address will be a common one, but the process will be different. So to achieve more reliability or to have good use of this multiplexing technique, almost all the protocols use this multiplexing and demultiplexing technique. So let us take an example of how we can achieve this. So what is the actual basic of multiplexing? So in the transport layer, the processes are using, these are the different processes, and what this multiplexer will do, so as we know it is many to one, so these processes will be clubbed, and this all the processes are used by, or they are using a same common network address, nothing but the IP address. The network address will be common. So both the hosts are clubbed by this IP address. So and the same thing will be sent here, and the demultiplexing will take place. So let us consider an example, like there are two hosts A and B, and these are the different processes. So let us consider this process as WhatsApp and Hike. So suppose you want to send two messages to your friend from A to B, and you are using both WhatsApp and Hike. So you are sending some messages using WhatsApp and some message using Hike, but all these actually these two are the different applications, so different processes are shown here. So you can take this as a WhatsApp and this as a Hike. So the messages that you are going to transfer to your friend, these two messages will be clubbed. Messages will be clubbed in the sense, what messages are in reality they are different, but they will be clubbed and they will be wrapped up because they are sharing the same common network address. So but these processes have different port numbers. This is very much essential. So how the actual this demultiplexer will identify, because it knows the destination address as well as destination port numbers. So port numbers will be unique for all the processes. Like for example, if you are using FTP, the port number is 21. If you are using SMTP, simple mail transfer protocol, if you are using, the port number is 25. If you are using something on the World Wide Web like HTTP, the port number is 80, and so on. So processes have unique port numbers to identify them. That is nothing but the TSIP or the transport port number, we can say. So those will be clubbed and those will be sent here. So this you are coming back to this example, this WhatsApp message and Hike message will be clubbed, and through the same network address it will be sent to the destination machine. So once this is done here, what demultiplexer will do, demultiplexer will split this entire message into two different messages. Like how it will differentiate it, again it is based on the port numbers. The WhatsApp has a different port number, or because this is a different process and this is a different process, both the processes are having different port numbers, and when it is sending the data, multiplexer has wrapped this messages, and also it has put the port numbers and the destination address. Destination address is common, but the port numbers are different for both the processes. This is how the data or the application from one person to the another person can be transferred. So this is the basic concept of multiplexing and demultiplexing, and this will be used in transport layer as well. So now come back to the types of multiplexing. Now let us understand the first step, that is the upward multiplexing. So in this diagram, if you observe, these are the transport layer, and this is the transport layer, and the different processes are being there here. So the user may be using or many processes or the applications. So in case of upward multiplexing, all the different connections or the TSAPs have been shared by single network address, or I mean they are using a common network address being used here. So all this will be clubbed and this will be wrapped and the same will be sent. So this is nothing but the routing lines. So only one routing line is available, or you can say the network address is common. The basic concept of upward multiplexing is many transport entities share a common network address. So that is with respect to the upward multiplexing. Now coming back to this downward multiplexing, in case of this downward multiplexing, here to achieve the more reliability, or if it is required more bandwidth, so what it can do is one single transport entity, or you can say one transport process, or the process can distribute its work or distributes its load to different routes, you can say, and at the end then it will have a common network address. So to achieve more reliability or more bandwidth, only one transport process can distribute its load onto the multiple paths. That is what we call it as the downward multiplexing. So in a nutshell, to understand this, so in case of upward multiplexing, many transport connections use one network connection, that we call it as the upward multiplexing. In case of downward multiplexing, one transport connection uses multiple network connections, that we call it as the downward multiplexing. So as we can see in the notes, in this figure, 4 distinct transport connection use the same network connection, that is with respect to upward multiplexing to the remote host. This is known as the upward multiplexing. Similarly, if a user needs more bandwidth or more reliability, then possible ways to distribute the traffic among multiple network paths. This is known as the downward multiplexing. So you can get a 2-mark question: what is multiplexing, or what are the different types of multiplexing, the upward multiplexing and downward multiplexing. You need to refer this diagram and explain in brief. And also they may ask one difference. The basic difference is upward multiplexing is like, as we have seen, many distinct transport connections use the same common network. In case of this downward multiplexing, to achieve the more bandwidth, here only one transport uses multiple network connections. That is the one difference. And one more difference is, in case of upward multiplexing, it is not that reliable, because many of the processors are using only common network connection, so we cannot assure about the reliability. So there may be too congestion and so on, and lower bandwidth. So that is one thing. But in case of downward multiplexing, it is highly reliable, and we can get more bandwidth. Bandwidth can be handled properly in case of downward multiplexing. So this ends a discussion about the multiplexing. So with this we conclude about all the transport layer elements that we discussed, starting from addressing, buffering, error control, and multiplexing, and all this we have covered till now. Thank you for being. And this 10 marks question can be asked all together, like addressing, buffering, multiplexing, all these together. There can be a possibility of 10 marks question. So you have to explain everything in very brief. Thank you for watching, and please give valuable feedbacks and comments. Thank you.